দর্শক আমন্ত্রণ আরটিভি নিয়মিত আলোচনা অনুষ্ঠান ফোর্থরাইটে আপনাদের সঙ্গে আছে আমি সৈয়দ আশিক রহমান। এই অনুষ্ঠানে আমরা কথা বলি বিভিন্ন সেক্টরের বিশেষজ্ঞদের সাথে যারা বাংলাদেশ নিয়ে ভবিষ্যৎ পরিকল্পনা ও তাদের অভিজ্ঞতা নিয়ে আলোচনা করেন। যুক্তরাষ্ট্র সরকারের সহায়তায় সম্প্রতি বাংলাদেশ সফর করেন গ্লোবাল মিডিয়া মেকারের ৩ জন সদস্য। আজ আমরা শুনব তাদের অভিজ্ঞতার কথা। আলোচনার জন্য স্টুডিওতে উপস্থিত হয়েছেন যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের ফিল্ম ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্টের সিনিয়র ডিরেক্টর মিস মারিয়া রাকেল বোজি, ফিল্ম মেকার লিও সিয়াং এবং ফিল্ম ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্টের আর্টিস্ট ডেভেলপমেন্টের ডিরেক্টর মিস অ্যাঞ্জেলো লি। Very welcome Miss Maria, Miss Leo and Miss Angela to our TV studio.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
How you are feeling?
We're feeling great.
It's been really great being
It is
here.
first visit in Bangladesh?
Yeah.
First visit.
First
First visit.
It's
So
wonderful.
how you find Bangladesh for your first visit?
It's been wonderful.
I love it. I love the energy of the city. I have heard a lot about being hectic and being like, and on the contrary, I feel that in spite of all the traffic and the gridlock, people are very mellow.
Vibration, some vibration is there, right?
Their
the
vibes.
vibrant city.
Vibration, very
Right.
nice.
Yeah, so it's their vibes, what we say.
Vibes,
their
right,
vibe.
right.
It's a great vibe I'm feeling here. So
Thank you.
it's a great city.
Thank you for your
Leo,
findings.
how do you feel?
And Leo?
I'm just grateful that it's not as hot as I thought it would be. The weather has been really wonderful.
Oh, you're lucky.
Yeah, I know. I think we fully realize how fortunate we are.
Knock on wood.
Thank you. Actually, it is summertime. Anyway, I want to start with Miss Maria. Can you please tell us about the global media makers and the purpose of your visit to Bangladesh?
Great. So I'll start telling you what Global Media Makers is. So Global Media Makers is a cultural exchange program designed to bring together American filmmakers and filmmakers from other parts of the world. For example, American filmmakers here are coming here with me to engage in a dialogue with filmmakers here in Bangladesh to find out what the conditions for filmmaking and media making are here in Bangladesh. And we do that before we engage filmmakers from here to go to a residency in Los Angeles that is 6 weeks.
Wow.
So usually before we engage filmmakers from a country,
Well-
we go to their country to find out how the conditions are.
Well,
But in the case of Bangladesh, we did it backwards because we were coming here before COVID.
so I'm thinking actually, then what motivated you to choose Bangladesh as a destination for your program?
Okay, we are, the program is building around different parts of the world. First, we started in some countries in North Africa and the Middle East. And then we decided that we wanted to bring together filmmakers from South Asia to create some cross-pollination between regions. And we began hearing there was some great filmmaking going on here in Bangladesh, young emerging filmmakers. And also, we, of course, knew that there is this great tradition, cultural tradition here and great storytelling that has originated in the Bengal region. So we felt these are stories that really are not traveling to the rest of the world, and we want to be a part of making those stories be seen, and those filmmakers being able to create stories that travel. So for that reason, we chose Bangladesh as one of the countries we want to work in.
Very great to know, or very good to know, Miss Maria. And thank you. And I believe that it is not the last. You will come back to Dhaka again and again.
We will.
I believe. Yeah. Well, I want to come to Mr. Leo. Mr. Leo, what specific opportunities and potential do you see in the Bangladeshi filmmaking industry, and how can it be further nurtured?
I just from the few days of speaking to the filmmakers, and yesterday we also had meetings with the OTT platform.
We have also OTT platform. Do you know? Now RTV has our art. It's called RTV Plus. Have a OTT platform also. We are making production contents, very good products, contents. Especially, it's become very popular between the young people. They like actually they maybe
don't like
don't
the
want to go to
traditional,
the
yeah.
traditional.
They like
don't
the
want
new,
to go to cinema hall, sitting home and
Right.
watch all this and come to the filmmaker.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much potential for new content
Right.
and new pathways
Right.
to reach this really, really large audience,
Right.
that both domestically here in Bangladesh
Large audience. They are,
and also in the
they-
diaspora.
Yep, yep. Netflix, Amazon Prime, lots of platform become very much popular between young generation, and I find that everyone, besides the television, they're actually watching OTT platform.
I feel like the stories from this country can travel. I think, speaking as somebody who was born and raised in Asia but spent most of his adult life in the U.S., I think that there's an increasing curiosity for stories, especially in the West, outside of the West. I think that the films that have been popular in the last several years says something about the international audience's appetite for stories, for stories from South Asia, for stories from Bangladesh. And I think that that's really exciting. I think that the filmmakers that we talk to are excited, and I know that these guys at Film Independent are very, very happy to be able to be a part of.
Wonderful. How can it be further nurtured?
I believe in building of communities. I think that individual filmmakers should be supported, but at the same time, I think that there could be, efforts to make sure that they also form communities with each other. They help each other, they mentor each other, they work on each other's project, they share information, and beyond that, also do the same thing with the international filmmakers, such as ourselves.
That's great.
And, we want to be here to be in community with the local filmmakers.
Great. Well, Miss Angela Lee. Miss Angela, in what ways can film be a powerful tool for fostering an inclusive society and ensuring freedom of expression?
It's interesting. We were just having a conversation in our days here, and someone said, there's 170 million people here in Bangladesh. There's 170 million different stories that can be told. And I think the more stories that are told about a community and the audience sees themselves reflected through these stories, I think it makes for a more compassionate and empathetic community. And I think that's the power of story. I think that is why it can allow for more inclusivity. And I think in this day and age, when anyone can make a film with their phone, it's democratized. Anyone can do it. And I think that's what's really, really exciting.
Wonderful. Thank you. Maria, what is your view, young Bangladeshi filmmaker?
I have met some here, and some of them I have already hosted in Los Angeles. At least 6 Bangladeshi filmmakers already have been through our program in Los Angeles. And I'm impressed and I'm in awe all the time at the creativity and the resourcefulness and the discipline these filmmakers have shown me. And some of them have already completed the projects that they took to the program. So, and I feel, again, yesterday we met with 3 sets of filmmakers, from the very emerging to the very established.
Right.
And although I did know there was a lot going on here, I did not know the extent of filmmaking here. And from meeting these filmmakers, I have realized there is a lot more than I thought happening here.
Well.
Yeah.
Good. Mr. Leo, how important is networking with global filmmakers and activists?
Well, I think that there's, especially after the pandemic, we know that nothing is better than face-to-face connections.
Right.
Nothing's better than having these relationships. Film is a collaborative medium, and we all need to find the collaborators that have the same philosophy as us, to be able to create together. So I think that it is just really extremely important for that to be happening, especially regionally in Asia and also internationally, between US and Bangladesh. I think that to be able to hear and learn more stories and to be able to share the world, but from different perspective, is something that's really special, and that's what we're all working towards.
That's great. So, what are the challenges? What do you think?
The challenges? gosh.
The challenges are the same as they are in the United
Yeah.
States, actually.
Yeah. So I'm asking you, it's a global challenges now.
Yeah. Well,
That is a big surprise of this type of dialogue,
Yep.
that everybody goes, you still have that same problem too? When they,
I'm from another planet.
yes, and everybody has the same problem, which is distribution and financing.
And I can
Financing.
tell you one thing, you see, this millennium, there is a big changes for, viewers. There is a big changes of, the new media. After version of new media, like social media, new media, there is a big shift of traditional media. And as well, film media also. Like, there is a platform, OTT platform, different platform is there. So there is a big target group. They also shift from cinema hall or auditorium to,
Yes.
your house also. So you have to accept, and actually standing on this, you have to think and work, because you have to accept the reality. And a few of us, I've been gone through lots of discussion on this matter, and I always telling that please try to accept, because maybe in coming days you will find the more changes and faster, so you have to accept it. Well, Angela, can you share any specific examples of how film has been used as a catalyst for positive social change in other countries and Bangladesh context as well?
That's a weighty question. I mean, again, I think through documentaries, there's a lot of, I feel like this is a good question for Leo, is a better to answer, honestly. Leo, why don't you take this one?
Well, I do think that documentaries can. I'm a documentary filmmaker primarily, and I think RTV does a lot of documentary work. Even just in conversation with the filmmakers so far, we know that a lot of the filmmakers are exploring, the subjects of the independence.
Right.
They're looking back towards the history, but they're also looking at global warming. The climate situation. It's something that obviously impacts Bangladesh,
Exactly, as well
but
the
also
whole
all over the
world.
world.
Yeah.
And to have a really well-told story in combination with
Right.
great information
Right.
is what's going to change the minds of audiences
Right. I
around
wish
the world.
once I would find opportunity to go to Iceland and spend some time and make a documentary that how the effect is going on. That is the burning actually issues over there. So
I'm actually producing a film in Iceland.
oh
right
really?
now.
We have lots of common things I find, because I'm also maker.
Uh-huh.
So you come here, and we are very lucky that we are sitting and talking and it is the common subject actually, and we can make collaboration also as well, right?
On the climate change issue, I mean, you're asking other parts of the world what they have done, but also like in Bangladesh, there's a filmmaker that has gone through our program. He made a film on climate change in Bangladesh, salt in our waters, and he's really, going in that route to educate people, to tell them what can happen, and going back to the villages. Where
We'll talk on more opportunities for our young professionals after a short break. দর্শক দেখছেন RTV নিয়মিত আলোচনা অনুষ্ঠান Forthright। এই পর্যায়ে নিচ্ছি বিরতি, ফিরছি একটু পরে। সে পর্যন্ত আমাদের সাথেই থাকুন। দর্শক, আবারও আমন্ত্রণ Forthright অনুষ্ঠানে। আজকে কথা বলছিলাম বাংলাদেশ সফররত গ্লোবাল মিডিয়া মেকারের 3 সদস্যের সঙ্গে। ওয়েলকাম এগেইন, মিস মারিয়া। You visited Bangladesh Film Archive. What is your experience? How you find it?
I was really impressed first by the body of work that there is there. It was like a treasure trove of scripts, of films. I was really impressed by the way they are restoring films, the way they're preserving them, the way they are archiving them. And I think that is really important that the country has seen that is a priority, because that is not just a bunch of films. It is the memory of a people, right? Some of these films are the popular culture so to speak, and express the times,
Right.
certain times, right? So I was really pleased and impressed and surprised to see the volume of film that there has been here since, a long time. So, and I love the posters.
Oh, really?
Yes. And
We have a very
book of
specific posters.
And
Yep.
so we were happy campers
That's
coming out of
amazing,
there
yeah.
with our
Mr. Leo, in your interactions with media professionals in Bangladesh, what key insights or experiences do you hope to exchange?
Well, we definitely are here to learn more about the landscape. For me, even if you read about it, it's not the same as hearing it from the people who actually make the work. And I think that what we're learning is that the industry is growing.
Well,
There are challenges, but there's also a lot of exciting potential.
well,
I think that one of the things we talked about is that the desire to have more creative producers.
right.
That's something that we even talk about it amongst our creation of our own work. But here, it sounds like it's a similar challenge or a similar opportunity to get more people involved in the film world and to be able to make the work in a more effective and more productive way.
So, what was their response actually?
What was their response? I think that folks want more opportunity to be able to show their films,
Well,
either in theaters or in some other platform.
well,
It sounds like that was kind of a primary concern, right?
Yeah, and amongst the amongst the younger generation,
Well-
there was this wanting mentorship,
mentorship.
and I think coming from Los Angeles where we work, I think that's something that to run a program like the one we run, that
Right.
is key. But we also, in terms of mentorship, we advise people to seek mentorship in their peers, right? That was the answer, and I don't think that's the answer. This woman
This-
Leah,
That's what they
wanted
were
to hear,
looking
like,
for.
Well,
don't look up, look around
Right,
you,
right.
build your mentorship
Wonderful.
kind of cohort, right?
Wonderful.
And that is very important for filmmaking to thrive because it's a collaborative medium, and
So, what is the role of the global media makers?
mainly to build that community. And this morning, we have a group of 26 filmmakers, including one Bangladeshi arriving next week.
Right.
And I was writing a quote for a press release, and I finally saw the idea of the program crystallized in that we have built this community in 8 years. There's 150 filmmakers already that have traveled to Los Angeles who have been mentored by 400 American filmmakers
Well-
who have taken as much as they have
400.
given. So that means like 500 plus filmmakers now
Well,
are part
wonderful.
of this community, and they're still in touch. So that is what I feel is our mission.
Well, Miss Angela, are there any upcoming collaborations or projects that you foresee with the young Bangladeshi filmmakers?
Absolutely. In my role at Film Independent, I'm the Director of Artist Development, and I oversee all of our Filmmaker Lab programs that are separate from Global Media Makers.
Well-
They include fiction, nonfiction, feature-length projects, episodic projects, and we have many different labs. And thanks to Maria and Global Media Makers' work, I've been introduced to some Bangladeshi filmmakers,
Oh, well.
and they've participated in the programs that I've run. And it's been really, really exciting. One of the filmmakers took their project through a finance market that we run called Fast Track,
Wonderful.
where over the course of 3 days, they met with 60 executives. 20
Wonderful.
meetings a day, 15 minutes each, with primarily US-based, but also European financiers, production companies, packaging agents, distributors, casting directors. And I can tell you from their participation, the feedback I got was really exceptional. They were like, wow, those filmmakers from Bangladesh had a really exciting story. We're excited to work with them.
Great.
And I know that they're There are some great possibilities, I believe, for that project with some U.S. connections, and that's what we're excited to do, and excited to continue meeting more Bangladeshi filmmakers and potentially offer them that opportunity also.
That's great. That's really good. Happy to know. Yes. Well, Ms. Maria, do you have any advice for aspiring filmmakers in Bangladesh who may not have access to formal training or resources?
Going back to look around you. Yes. Look for that support around you. There's people that are ahead of you, but I think you will find the most support looking around you. And also, I think mentorship is what builds the ecosystem that we need to keep an industry going. Well, and I have to believe that, because otherwise I couldn't do my job, right? So, and I strongly believe it. So that's my main advice. And keep your voice. Well, don't give up. You have a story, and it's an important story. You just have to find the way to make it, and sometimes it will not be easy. And you may ask that question to Angela, how hard it is, because she's a producer. So
yeah, definitely, I'll come to Angela. Yeah, well, Angela.
How much time do you have?
Well, I mean, I would say that we are all storytellers, right? We all have different experiences. Well, and if that instinct for you to tell that story is strong, if there is a will, there's a way.
Exactly. When there is a will, there is a way. And you have to know how to tell the story. You must know how to, storyteller. It's easy, but you have to think how to tell, It's very important, because, in our country also, all makers, they are doing very well. There is a lots of creative people, creative directors, they're working, and storytelling is very important. So you have to tell your story. We are almost end of the program. Any final thought you want to share with our viewers? Mr. Leo?
I would just say that anyone, actually let me just say, if you want to tell a story, I think continue to, if you have the passion, you will be able to tell your story, and to keep at it. Anyone can do it. Everyone has a phone. Many people have a phone. It takes practice. It takes trial and error to hone in on your craft. But you can get there, and to rely on your community to give you feedback and support, and you will find your way.
Wonderful. Mr. Leo?
I would say that persistence is very important when you're starting up, and also patience is also very important. And also, don't forget that your reputation is also very important.
Right.
Everything you do,
very important,
in a small community such as ours,
exactly.
It's going to stay with you. So really be kind, pay it forward, help others as you want to be helped.
Thank you. Ms. Maria will conclude our program with your remarks.
Do not forget to be kind. A lot gets lost in the way of, I need to make this in any way possible. Yes, any way possible, but keep your humanity. And last but not least, talking about the actual program that we're talking about here, I just want to stress the idea of this exchange, of this connection that we're building. And I feel very lucky that I have a partner to do that. Film Independent has a partner to do that, which is the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs Department at the United States State Department. And we are lucky that we are able to work with them to create such an exciting opportunity for filmmakers around the world, and especially for filmmakers in the United States who get to meet all these amazing people that they couldn't meet if they were not meeting them through this program. So it's been wonderful being here in Dhaka.
Wonderful.
Doc Lab Dhaka has also helped us a great deal to meet filmmakers, to get that connection. And I think we are getting a lot of connections and meeting a lot of amazing filmmakers.
That you also meet me. I'm also a filmmaker.
I know. Yes. No, you have been like the bonus, right?
How intelligent. The bonus.
You're the cherry on top.
Yeah, you my God.
Oh, yeah.
This was at the end of the arduous traffic day. We got here, and there you were.
Maria, you are a very good speaker. You conclude very nicely. And how
There's also the screening on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So, if you want to be a part of this exchange,
Well-
if you want to see a beautiful North American film
Well-
and meet the filmmaker, the producer who made that
Well-
film, you must come on Saturday.
We'd love to.
At 4 p.m. at the National Archive.
Wow.
And Miss Angela Lee, the producer of the film, will be there
Well-
to introduce the film
Wonderful.
and talk about the film. How much better than that does it
How
get?
will you say it? Cherry on the top. And
It's
I'm
like-
privileged.
On top, on
So
top, on top.
top on top on top. So I love to join. You see, I want to actually. We want to work together. You know.
Yeah.
And, it's a bonus that we introduce each other, and once we are in media, we are in the same industry, same actually profession we are doing. So we find lots of common questions, common things, and common answer, and hope and wish a big collaboration in future. Coming days. Thank you very much for being with us and sharing your thoughts. We hope our promising filmmakers will get clear concept on your recent trip and process from this discussion. দর্শক, যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের ডিপার্টমেন্ট অফ স্টেটের সঙ্গে সহযোগিতার ভিত্তিতে 2016 সালে শুরু হওয়া গ্লোবাল মিডিয়া মেকার কার্যক্রমটি ফিল্ম ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্টের একটি উদ্ভাবনী প্রশিক্ষণ কার্যক্রম। এই কার্যক্রমের আওতায় সর্বাঙ্গীন চলচ্চিত্র নির্মাণ শিক্ষা, ব্যবসায় প্রশিক্ষণ, পেশাদার নেটওয়ার্ক গড়ে তোলার সুযোগ এবং উপযুক্ত বিশেষ পরামর্শ প্রদান সহ পৃথিবীর নানা প্রান্তের চিত্রনাট্যকারদের যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের বিনোদন পেশাজীবীদের সঙ্গে সংযুক্ত করা হয়। জিএমএম সদস্যদের এবারের সফরের মধ্যে দিয়ে এই সহযোগিতার পরিধি আরও বৃদ্ধি পাবে বলেই আমাদের বিশ্বাস। আজকে আলোচনার সূত্র ধরেই বলতে চাই, বাংলাদেশের তরুণদের হাত ধরেই চলচ্চিত্র শিল্প আরও এগিয়ে যাবে, সেই প্রত্যাশায় শেষ করছি আজকের অনুষ্ঠান। এতক্ষণ সঙ্গে থাকার জন্য ধন্যবাদ সবাই।